Fox NASCAR live in Kansas City, Kansas. And it is a great day, a big day for NASCAR. We are full wall-to-wall with our coverage. We got an ARCA race. We got Cup practice and qualifying. The tailgaters get us started as the Craftsman Truck Series hits the track for their practice and qualifying session. Round number 8 for them comes your way later on tonight. Welcome in, everybody, with Michael Waltrip. I'm Adam Alexander. So good to have you with us. 2 weeks off for the trucks. Now they're going 5 consecutive weekends. This is a good time to be a fan, Michael.
Yeah, and it's also a good time to be a winning, fast race team. These guys really struggled their way through Martinsville with the rain and rain tires, but at the end, Corey Heim was able to hold off Kyle Busch and get that big victory. You know, anytime you go head-to-head with Kyle Busch and come out on top, that's a day's work right there. And he did it restart after restart, wet and dry. Look how much fun we had at Martinsville. I can't believe that was 2 weeks ago. Had a couple of guys disagree about what was going on the racetrack. You can see around goes Hocevar, and then the rain came, and wow, Corey Heim with a huge night, beating Kyle Busch head-to-head.
You mentioned the fact that it doesn't happen often, going to head-to-head with Kyle Busch and coming out on top. Kyle looks for redemption tonight at a track where he's won 3 times, and it's not just Kyle trying to win for himself. He's trying to win for the team. If he wins tonight, or Chase Purdy, it would be win number 100 for Kyle Busch Motorsports. How do you put that into perspective?
It's just amazing what Kyle Busch has been a part of and all the success he's had. The hundreds of wins that Hendricks has, he's a part of that. You got Joe Gibbs Racing, you got Kyle Busch Motorsports. He just comes to the racetrack with his sleeves rolled up and ready to go do battle every week. Doesn't matter whether he's driving a car or a truck.
And when you look at Kyle, he's not the only Cup regular entered. Ross Chastain in the show as well. He too has won here at Kansas. Practice and qualifying on the way. We're glad you're with us on FS1. We're just past noon in the east, and the track is open for business here in Kansas. Just after 11 local time. The sun is shining, and the track is hot, Michael.
Yeah, and these guys already, Adam, I'm watching them run all the way out next to the fence and down on the bottom. All kinds of different lines around this little mile and a half.
Well, you only get 20 minutes of practice, so if you're going to figure out what you got, you better go get after it. We're working hard in the booth and working hard on pit road. Josh Sims, good morning to you, Josh.
Well, good morning, Adam. And after 2 weeks off, the truck drivers are back in action here at Kansas. And this is a big-time race for a number of different reasons. First of all, you've got a guy like Kyle Busch in the field, a Cup regular, and that's a measuring stick for a lot of these truck drivers out here. It gives you a feel for how you are, and if you can go toe-to-toe and beat him, like, say, a Corey Heim did at Martinsville, that's a big deal. But also remember, this is a playoff race as well. They'll be back here for the playoffs at Kansas in the fall, and a lot of the guys will take notes from this race, take notes from practice, and hope that can help them in the fall as well, guys.
What about the strategy here, Adam? Kyle Busch, we talked about you better get it done in a hurry. Does he look like he's in a hurry?
I guess this shows how ignorant I am, because I would say he's the smartest one of the bunch today, and he's just hanging on, waiting for his time to go out.
Pretty interesting philosophy here. These teams all have a plan, strategy when they head to the racetrack. As we check in on Carson Hocevar in that 42 truck. He's going to wrap it right down to the bottom if he can.
He had a great plan here last fall in the playoffs race, and it almost worked out. Got beat on the final lap by John Hunter Nemechek, but since that time, he has been able to pull into victory lane. Did it at Texas Motor Speedway. He actually has been really, really good when you look at the mile and a half, Mike.
He's been good everywhere. Just a win waiting to happen. We knew it was going to happen sooner rather than later, and he got it done in Texas, like you said, on the mile and a half. So that's got to make him feel pretty good, and he's got a pretty sporty teammate out there this weekend, too, in Ross Chastain. Here's that Texas video of him taking, excuse me.
It was a great call by Phil Gould, the crew chief.
Right on.
And he knew that eventually John Hunter Nemechek was going to get there. Lap traffic was a factor. He takes the white flag out front, and then as you saw into turn 1, Nemechek goes by. And what was huge about that, if he wins that race, Josh mentioned this is a playoff race when we come back, he would have advanced to the round of 8 with a victory there, Michael.
Yeah, and he just puts it out there week in and week out. That Kansas race was just so dramatic as those laps wound down. We're doing the math. It's like he's going to get there, or is he not going to get there? Carson did a great job trying to hang on, but John Hunter was just too much.
You mentioned his teammate. Going to be pretty sporty this weekend. Ross Chastain second right now in that 41. Top of the board, Christian Eckes driving the 19.
I was talking to Josh Williams, who is Zane Smith's spotter, about this, about the wind that's blowing these trucks down into turn 3. You know, people ask me all the time, fans, does the wind affect your race vehicle that much? It just depends on which direction it's going. But with the blowing right down that back straightaway, you're hauling into turn 3. Could see some guys getting a little bit of trouble there, slipping up because of that big push on the back from the wind.
As we talk weather, and we're going to race tonight just after 7 o'clock local time, I look at, this practice midday, sun is out, track's going to get warmed up. You mentioned the wind. The elements are going to be different later tonight for the race than what these teams face in practice as we watch the 11 of Corey Heim. How easy is it to go the wrong direction here, or is this just all baseline time to get your sets where they need to be for the race?
I think you just want to confirm what you believed, what you brought here technologically wise, your setup, your springs, your shocks, how you're approaching this race and this track. I think this is just a great session to go out and confirm that you are correct in your planning. Now, if you're not great right now, your crew chief's going to say, hey man, it's all right, it's going to be different tonight, and our truck will come to you. Or you just have to make some adjustments as we look at Corey Heim down into the corner there, right on the bottom. That's what these guys want to be predominantly, especially on these new tires, I think. But as the tires go away, we've already seen some trucks up top, so we're going to have multiple grooves here at Kansas.
Heim 10th right now. Had a really good truck here a season ago. Won a stage, but was outdueled by this driver, Zane Smith. How good
guys want to be predominantly, especially on these new tires, I think. But as the tires go away, we've already seen some trucks up top, so we're going to have multiple grooves here at Kansas.
Heim 10th right now. Had a really good truck here a season ago. Won a stage, but was outdueled by this driver, Zane Smith. How good was he in the spring race a season ago?
Just dominant. Won the second stage in the race. Had a very fast truck. I think it's probably his most dominant victory. What would you say, Adam?
I would say yes. Led 108 of 134 laps. You mentioned the stage win. It was his third win a year ago when he pulled into victory lane here at Kansas. Of course, went on to win the championship. Here's how he got it done.
Yeah, you saw that great restart. Got him out in front. He just wasn't even going to catch him that night. Celebrations all around.
He's been all over the board when you look at his numbers so far in 2023. The 2 wins, Daytona to open the season, got it done on the road course in Austin, Texas, at Circuit of the Americas. Some weekends, though, where things have not gone their way, but he has served notice. I'm the reigning champ. I want to make it 2 in a row, and he's 5th early in practice.
There's your fastest guy in that Napa truck. There's that high line I talked about, Adam. Most everybody running down low, but I like a driver if he feels good about his truck, and he's the fastest, so he's got to feel good about it. I want to look around. I want to see what my truck drives like if I go up the top or right down on the bottom.
Ross Chastain is 2nd, and he was doing a track walk yesterday with some fans, and he posted a video on social media. He walked out by the wall. He said, I'm trying to get these fans to come up here with me, perhaps laying the groundwork for what we'll see on track tonight and tomorrow in the Cup race.
This kid has been very impressive. Taylor Gray in the 17, 4th quick in this session, and just 18 years of age from Denver. But every week, Adam, this is a guy I think's on my short list of first-time winners. Just gets it done everywhere we go.
We've seen some first-time winners here at Kansas. Gray coming off a great run. He was 8th at Martinsville a couple of weeks ago. 13 minutes to go in practice. Eckes at the top. Just under 10 minutes to go. Practice for the Craftsman Truck Series live at Kansas. 24 of Raja Caruth on pit road while we were away. He went for a slide. Good news is didn't hit anything.
And nothing hit him. There were a couple trucks that did a nice job of getting their trucks slowed down. I talked about running that high side. To me, the top has always been just a little bit freer. So if you can't quite stick down on the bottom because you're pushing, you might go up there and you could see evidence of freer there as Raja has a fast truck. 7th quick in this session, but it got away from him.
And his teammate has been good as well. The other rookie from GMS, Daniel Dye, is 3rd right now, and he's operating with a new crew chief. Blake Bainbridge has come over, was working with Stuart Friesen, now calling the shots for the 43. You can't connect too many dots early in the process, but it's hard to ignore how fast they are early on, Michael.
Well, it's certainly a breath of fresh air. We've seen Daniel struggle a bit this year. Had speed at times, very persistent, and Adam, he always...
One on you, flat behind you on the 88.
That's the crew chief relaying information to the driver about the speed he's running and what he needs to do differently or how he could be better. But I just like seeing this speed. You feel like he's got the potential. This is a great race team, and now he's able to put that number 43 truck right up in the top 5 here in this session.
We mentioned his new crew chief. Let's get the other side of that story. Go back now to Josh.
Yeah, and another team that's been having some issues this season, that's the 52 of Stuart Friesen. Now their third crew chief of the season, Bob Heilbrunn, takes over atop the pit box for this team. They just have one top 10 finish so far this year. And Stuart Friesen and that 52 team, that's a team that traditionally competes for championships year in and year out, but they've had their struggles this year. Some wholesale sweeping changes throughout that team, hoping they could figure something out. The good thing for them, a 1.5 mile track is their bread and butter, hoping they could get something going for them. But yeah, more changes for this team. They've had some struggles this year, guys.
Yeah, and he's 13th quick in this session, so that to me doesn't tell the whole story, Adam. We know that. You know, I talked about changing conditions this evening. You're looking for the balance, and if you're a veteran like Stuart Friesen, reporting back to the crew chiefs and the engineers on that team, they're going to know what he has and be able to adjust on that.
We go from the 52 to the 51. Kyle Busch reporting for duty.
Well, he looked very confident and very relaxed down on pit road.
Were you ever stressed about his situation, Michael?
No, I just thought it was interesting. We make a big deal out of it. It's only 20 minutes, you got to go. Kyle said, no, you don't. I don't have to go anyway. And you can see riding that upper line, he's only 9th quick for 1 lap, but his lap times are very consistent. Last time by, which was his 6th time by, he ran just about the same thing he did the lap before, or that first lap, the fastest lap.
4th lap 7.
You look at the top 10 in the pylon. Interesting names up there, and the collection of teams that are represented in the top 10, Michael.
It's very interesting. You know, we talked about Rajah's big spin after posting that 7th quick time. DiBenedetto up in the top 10. And of course, we expected Ross Chastain to be there. Christian Eckes also runs really good on these 1.5 mile tracks.
A season ago in the spring race, this was a great venue for ThorSport. Only got a couple, actually only one truck inside the top 10 right now. It's Ty Majeski.
There's Ty, and we knew he was going to be fast. This team has done a nice job. Ty was an engineer on the team. He's been relieved of those duties so he can be a more effective race car driver. I bet you he still dabbles, don't you think, Adam?
I would say that's a promotion.
Lap 8 for him, lap 9 for you, 7 minutes remaining.
Ooh, that's good information. The him we speak of is Kyle Busch, and if you can run lap for lap with Kyle in practice, you're going to feel really good about your truck. And that last time by on lap 9, he was just about a 1/2 tenth faster than Kyle Busch. Of course, he's drafting up a little bit. That can help, but that's a good number 98 truck.
He hasn't won this year, but you compare him with Zane Smith, who's won twice. And I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about Zane and showing the video of him winning here last year. He's had some hiccups. Majeski really has not. He got hot last fall, wins a couple of races, makes the championship 4, and it's carried over so far in the first portion of 2023.
Yeah, but I like speed early in the season. You know, you can pop up there and knock out a couple of wins. You don't have to worry about the playoffs. You can just focus on your summer and try to get better and better. And a lot of speed from Zane Smith all season long. And there you see Ty's just up and down a bit.
What all of that says when it comes to the regular season point standings, Majeski is 26 in front of Zane Smith.
Hey,
Christian,
fastest cat in town.
He's feeling good, isn't he? Put the hay in the barn. Couple of minutes remain. Practice for the Craftsman Truck Series at Kansas. One driver feeling really good about himself, Christian Eckes. He's done with the session, and he should be. He's got a fast fast Chevy.
I mean, you rarely see 2.5 tenths gap over the whole field, and that's what Eckes has after. And we're looking at 10-lap averages, Adam, and that's what the crew chiefs and engineers study the most. You know, you're going to go out, maybe you can bust off a fast lap like Daniel Dye did, but what are you doing for me on lap 15? Because there's going to be some green flag racing tonight, and if you can just get better and better as your truck tires get hotter and hotter, Josh, it's going to pay dividends tonight.
Christian Eckes, and fastest on the board. You just ran those 13 laps, so I'd imagine you feel pretty good about your truck, huh?
Yeah, no, our number 19 Instacoat Chevy is really, really fast. The drive's good too, so it's a plus. But just really proud of these guys. The last 4 races have been pretty damn rough, and to come here and kind of rebound is what we're looking to do. And we have this fast of a Chevrolet. It makes my life easier. So straight to race tonight.
Thanks, and good luck, Christian. Guys?
It has been a tale of two tapes when you look at the 19. Comes out strong Daytona, Las Vegas, wins Atlanta, but the last 4 races for the 19, 2/15ths, 2/30ths, I think they found a sweet spot here today.
They're back for sure. We know how good, like I said earlier, he is on the 1.5 miles. Atlanta was an awesome race, and he was able to survive. Is this Crafton seeing about a run to pit road? Want to make sure you optimize.
Pit road speed there. You made it.
You made it. Boy, that's always good to hear in your ear when you think you might have been just a little bit too hot. The team says, we're good, we're good. But that's what you have to do. You have to maximize every bit of this 20 minutes of practice. And that includes making sure you understand coming to pit road. Matt Crafton's been coming to pit road here at Kansas since they built the place. So he knows everything about it, but still you want to make sure you got your timing down.
25 truck races here. Matt Crafton, as you said, has been a part of every one of them. Ben Rhodes, 11th in the session. Another one of those Fords from ThorSport. Won the championship a couple of years ago.
Louisville, Kentucky. And he's doing the same thing I think Crafton did. You see him just getting that truck down off the banking onto the pit road and making sure he understands all the intricacies of what it takes to get down on pit road properly.
Final stage tonight, 70 laps. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that we could see those green flag pit stops. And as Michael said, you want to be good on the long haul. You want to be able to get to pit road under green should that situation arise tonight. You saw the red and black flags are out. Practice is done. Best on the 10-lap average, best overall. The man is Christian Eckes.
What about down there in ninth? Kyle Busch. Will he be able to overcome that fast number 19 truck?
I see 3 rookies in the top 10. That's impressive. Qualifying on the way. Tomorrow on Fox, the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show kicks off with the Masters Agility Championship, where the best dogs in the world race for the crown. It all begins 2 Eastern time. It's tomorrow on Fox.
I love a good dog show. Agile. Look at the puppy.
The agility category, is that what you were in during Dancing with the Stars?
Oh, me. My feet were too big to be a good dancer. But I had a good time, I'll tell you that.
Bail us out, Josh. How's Daniel Dye doing after practice?
Yeah, I'd say Daniel Dye is feeling pretty good. 3rd on the board in practice, so sounds like you have something you like in that truck that can help you out for qualifying in tonight.
Yeah, we were a little free. I think somebody with a little more experience would like it like that. Right now, I'm kind of, I need to tighten it up a little bit. But 3rd, that's a pretty good start to the weekend. Go out here, qualify, hopefully be somewhere in the top 10 and just try and have a clean race and end in the top 10. It's been a rough season so far, so trying to build something and build a little momentum for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Daniel. Good luck.
I love him because he's so honest.
That's right.
At 19 years old, he tells you exactly what's on his mind every time.
I like him because he has our onboard camera, and he's been able to see about 90% of the wrecks, and most of them he's driven through. So he's done a nice job of learning. You want to run the laps, and I think I've seen a lot of progress from Daniel behind the wheel. And this is a big moment for that team. If they can parlay that great practice session into a decent qualifying run and a good night tonight, that's how you start to build on things.
And this is when you really need to get that foundation under you here at Kansas, because as you look at the upcoming schedule, and we talked about this off the top, it's going to be a busy 5 weeks. After a couple of weekends off, we come to the heartland for Kansas, back to the east for Darlington Friday night.
We got our airplane out, too. We're making some progress. We're going to go to North Wilkesboro on a Saturday afternoon. I cannot wait to get back to North Wilkesboro. Then the Charlotte race, that's the one you want to put on your calendar, too, to make sure everybody around town knows that you got the fastest truck in the series. And then we ended up, after the 5th week, out there in St. Louis.
A race in Missouri, a race in Kansas, and basically 3 home games sandwiched in between for the Craftsman Truck Series. We're all buttoned up and ready to go for qualifying. We'll put the trucks on track when we return on FS1. Trucks rolling out and getting lined up for qualifying. The practice portion of this practice qualifying show is done. Let's get a report downstairs from Josh Sims.
Yeah, down here with Carson Osevar helping the team gas up Ross Chastain's car. He also told me he can do my job better than me. But let's talk about you first of all. I saw you talking with Ross. What are those conversations like, and what nuggets do you pick up from him?
Well, there's sometimes good conversations and bad conversations, and that was a good one, especially with both Wex Racing Worldwide Express trucks being 2nd and 6th. It's always a good conversation, just trying to pick his head a little bit. I got out early just because I like the feel of our truck, and Nice Motorsports brought 2 really fast race trucks, so I wanted to pick apart his. We got a little something different than on both of our trucks, and wanted to see the difference. And I like mine after his comments, and you know, kind of eavesdropping on these KBM boys. Yeah, I'm especially liking our truck so far.
I think you got someone right behind you. You want to check that out?
Yeah, it's the first time he's ever been taller than me in his life. I'm saying he always looks up to me, but like literally he does.
Well, hey, you said you could do my job better. Why don't you toss back to Mikey in the booth?
All right, Mikey. I'll probably talk to you later. Hopefully when we win this thing, come on down and we'll have a good time in Victory Lane. So up to you in the booth.
There you go, guys.
Thank you, Carson. I appreciate the toss. We're having a nice time up here in the booth looking through some stats. And, you know, he said something very interesting to me. He said, I was picking his brain. That means, what was the wind doing to your truck getting into turn 3? Were you able to run right next to the wall? Were you half a groove off? Just anything that you can imagine, Adam, that he could think of in order to be able to be a better racer tonight here in Kansas. That's what he wants tiny details, every detail he can get.
Reading between the lines, he also said he's stealing secrets from those KBM guys, huh?
Well, that's fun. You know, you got.
Is that what you heard there?
You got to be adventurous. You got to make sure you get every piece of information you can get. I answer this question a lot. What's the difference between a winning racer and a loser? It's details. You know, you can't be as successful as Kyle Busch has been over these years, the greats, without just diving through every detail that's available to you. Now, the good thing for me back in the day, we didn't have any details. We just got in the car and went. You know, there wasn't a whole lot going on with engineering or computers, but now there's not a tire that turns that isn't evaluated and analyzed.
Well, and you couldn't lie to the crew when you screwed something up, because they just go to the data and figure out exactly what happened, right?
Yeah, we used to say, when we were at Charlotte, we'd say, yeah, I ran wide open. Well, did you really? I thought I ran wide open.
I missed a gear. No, you didn't, actually.
Now it's just all about the details.
Qualifying is really straightforward today for the trucks. 36 here, all of them will make the show. I'm glad we're not sending anyone home. And it's one lap, one round. Just go out there, lay down a hot one, and see where it puts you in the lineup. First one out, Tim Viens in the 46-year-old out of the Northeast.
Didn't have a fast truck in practice, and he's a little bit off the pace. We'll see these trucks go a lot faster as we go through this session. A couple of trucks away is Johnny Sauter, making a return here to us to see if he can go back to victory lane here at this track. Got that win back in, was it 2010, Adam?
2010, won the championship 2016.
And this is Justin Carroll. Justin driving the 90 truck. You can see more speed from that truck, and he's up the hill a little bit. We'll have to find out if there's a theme here. Do these guys want to run right down on the bottom with the left front fender on that white line, or do they pick the middle of the racetrack?
And tonight will be the first ever start for Justin in the Craftsman Truck Series. Josh?
Down here with Stuart Friesen, and we talked early in the broadcast just about the change for your team. Can you let us know a little more behind the scenes of kind of what's going on?
Well, we just got to get better. So we had a good practice there. Big thanks to everybody at TRD that's supported us, and Halmar and all my guys. We're working together here as a group, and you know, we had a pretty solid practice, and you know, had a pretty good plan of attack going into it. So we're just working that plan and see if we can make it a little bit better later.
Thanks, Stuart.
Yeah, that's. I talked to Stuart regularly, and he just said we're going to make this a winning race team again. We know we can do it. You can see Nick Lights right down on the bottom there in turns 1 and 2. I like that line. I'll be interested to see if that's what gets the pole. But anyway, Stuart, he's more in a managerial role too. He's over there making sure they're making all the right moves that he thinks they need to do in order to be able to win. And he and Chris Larson, the owner, they work together very aggressively to try to get that truck back on the pace they think they need to be.
Good lap here for Nick Lights. Going to send him to the top of the board, 32.88. Got to tell a funny story. He hasn't been with us this year racing in a truck series. Had a few starts last year. So I sent him a note last night just to 100% confirm the pronunciation of his last name. And I said, I just want to make sure it's Lights, L-I-G-H-T-S. I put that in quotes. He replied, said, thank you for reaching out. Yes, that is correct. And someday, if I have children, I'm going to name one of them Miller.
I thought he was going to say Bright.
Maybe.
Mason Maggio taking to the track. Palm Gardens Beach, Florida.
Looking to make his second start of 2023. We've seen him a few times racing Saturdays in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
And she was wiggling.
Yeah, big time.
A little bit loose there in 3 and 4. Dives down off the racetrack. There's no out of bounds here at Kansas. You can go anywhere you want. Those guys are going to try to dive down and make that start-finish line as close as they can make it.
33.10 for Maggio, puts him third. Lights continues to show the way.
I think we're going to see some speeds down in the 30-second bracket in this qualifying session. Brennan Poole coming up to speed.
You and I were on Race Hub this week. We were talking about the trucks and the fact that Ross Chastain was going to be racing here tonight. And I said, you know who else is in this race? You said Kyle Busch. I said, yes, he is. But so, too, is Brennan Poole. They had a bit of a dust-up in that Cup race on Monday at Dover.
Yeah, Ross got into the back of Brennan, and he got into the wall and took Kyle Larson with him. So another controversial moment for Ross Chastain, but that was just, in my eyes, a mistake. He just didn't anticipate Brennan letting off the gas. It doesn't make Kyle Larson's car fixed, and it doesn't help the feelings of Brennan Poole wrecking a car. But I think Ross just messed up and got in a little hard, and certainly didn't mean to do that. But still, just another page in the book have to deal with.
Solid effort for Poole here by a wide margin. He jumps to the top, 32-13. Let's go back and revisit what happened Monday at Dover. 80 laps in, Chastain into the backside of that 15. He goes sliding.
Yeah, it was a little interesting to me that he was down there anyway, because, you know, there was room up, and there's the Larson piece of that puzzle. I just didn't really understand why he was on the bottom of the racetrack. And maybe there was something we didn't see prior to that made Ross say, you got to get out of the way. I mean, I don't have the whole story. Maybe we can ask Ross what happened, and he'll tell us it's just hard racing, and let's focus on this race tonight. 3
double-duty drivers this weekend running Saturday and Sunday, and that would be Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, and Brennan Poole is back driving again on the Cup side tomorrow afternoon.
What about this guy?
Great to see him back. First start of the year.
It is great to see Johnny Sauter back. Got that win here like you and I talked about. He likes it right down on the bottom as he ducked down there. Pretty good pace so far.
Hasn't been in one of these. Now he jumps right back in. You see the tracker's pretty friendly to him. Is it like riding a bike, especially when you come to a place like Kansas where it's technical but yet high speed?
It's a little bit like riding a bike, but when you get, the older you get, the harder it is, you know, to adapt and adjust. And I say that because I raced some last summer, and I would see a hole that young Mike would have gotten in. And old Mike said, ooh, that looks a little bit too close. and when you're talking about at 175 miles an hour at them, that half a second is about a half a football field. So that's how much time moves by when you're trying to make up your mind what you want to do. That's the challenge I found last year.
Sauter second right now by 4 thousandths of a second. Josh?
down here with Haley Deegan, and Kansas is a place you made your first ever career truck start, so I'd imagine this is a special place for you.
Oh yeah, coming back to Kansas, I love this track. I enjoy it every single time we come here, and just looking back on the past races, we tend to have some speed here, so it's definitely one of my favorite tracks to go to. I got, I think, a pretty good truck today. Double Doe on board. New partner of mine, truck looks great. Sue came out amazing. I'm super happy to have them on the truck, but overall, I think our truck's pretty good. We got good speed in it. We made some good changes throughout practice and made good progress on it, so I think we'll have a really nice piece for the race, and hopefully we can get through qualifying and start towards the front.
Thanks, Haley. Guys?
That is a good-looking ride, isn't it?
It is, and two things I like about her tonight is that ThorSport was really good here a season ago. I mentioned that during the practice session, and she was 6th in our last mile-and-a-half race, matching her career best at Texas. So put all that together, and maybe tonight will be a solid night for that 13. While they were visiting down there, Josh Reum went out and made his qualifying run. 32.46 puts him 3rd of the 7 that had been on track, and we are slowed just for a second. They had some debris they had spotted down toward turns 1, so one of the safety vehicles went out there, cleaned that up, and qualifying will resume.
There's that Toyota Tundra safety vehicle. Went out and made a pass through turns 1 and 2 just to make sure everything was tidy before they send Lawless Allen off to make his qualifying run. Nick Sanchez chatting with Ross Chastain.
Trying to gain some knowledge there.
He's picking his brain, Adam.
Hey, I mentioned what Haley did when we raced in Texas, finishing 6th.
Oh, wow.
Nick Sanchez was okay on that Saturday night, wasn't he?
That was big. He was so fast and unfortunately didn't end well. Autoparkit.com. You know what they do? They build parking garages under your building. You're like, I don't have anywhere to park. We can fix that for you.
Don't build up.
Under your
Go
big
low.
building. That's right. Lawless teammates with Ross and Carson. Didn't come to the flag very well for some reason. I don't know what maybe slipped or something we didn't see, but it didn't sound like he was up to speed, and I think it's evident by the tracker.
Yeah, I mean, deep in the red and going the wrong direction. Tracking 7th now. The 2nd off our fastest time turned in by Brennan Poole.
Take the checkered flag. Slots in 7th out of 8. 33.33. That's a bit off the pace that he ran in practice earlier today. And not a bit, a lot. He ran a 31.80 in practice. Tyler Hill.
I love it when he and his brother Timmy are racing. They always get more out of their vehicle, whether it's trucks, Xfinity Cup, whatever it is, than what you would anticipate it could bring to the table. And when you see them in the garage area, always a big smile.
Yeah, they're great guys, and I think that, you know, the fact that they're building their team, it reminds me a whole lot of Jordan Anderson racing. You know, he came to the Truck Series. He was not only the truck driver on the track, he drove the truck to the track.
And I would say all that's worked out for him.
It's
quite
gone
nicely.
very well for him. They got their big first win. I see the same thing from Hill Motorsports, Timmy and Tyler, what they're building there. Decent lap.
He's 4th. 9 vehicles have been out. We're at the 1/4 point of the qualifying session here at Kansas. Dye, Breidinger, Dean Thompson on the way. Truck 10 heading out on the track. It's qualifying for the Craftsman Truck Series at Kansas with Michael Waltrip, Josh Sims. I'm Adam Alexander. Here's Daniel Dye, who really turned our heads in practice about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's the best speed we've seen out of Daniel since he started racing his truck. And not only was it fast for 1 lap to put that big number up on the board, he had a good average as well. He hung right in there, so this is going to be fun to watch. See there, nice steady wheel.
Here's your green.
3 and 4.
Coming back to the checkered. Bottom.
Bottom. That's the spotter reminding him to dive off the track coming down the front, just to try to shorten up that front straightaway. Right down on that white line. Looks like it's handling really well, Adam. Not a whole lot of input in the wheel.
He painted that line, didn't he?
He did, and that's not easy to do. We talked about this big wind down the back straightaway. It's still blowing that way. Let's see if he can do the same thing down here.
Tracker continues to go in the right direction.
That restart zone to the grass, to the grass, to the grass.
Not literally.
Check your temp.
to it, not in it.
Big lap. 31.25 for Daniel Dye. He leads the way in qualifying at Kansas. Josh?
Well, down here with Nick Sanchez, and I got to say it's got to be nice to be able to pick the brains of Ross Chastain, who's qualifying right behind you, but also your boss, Kyle Busch, as well. What type of insight do you get from these guys?
Yeah, it's really cool to, talk to those guys and get that info. They obviously have a lot of experience, so it helps me, tune my truck, what to expect for the race, and they're great assets to have, and I enjoy racing with them.
And guys, remember the last time we saw Nick on a 1.5 miles, he was pretty dominant at Texas.
Led 97% of the laps at Texas Motor Speedway last month.
He was very dominant. Looked like he had victory in his hands and got away late.
The one is Tony Breidinger, making her first ever start in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Whoa, good run. She picked it up a lot from practice.
31.78, that is nice. Spent a lot of time in USAC. We've seen her driving in the ARCA car, and huge opportunity for her here tonight. And here's her teammate, Dean Thompson, into 5. Talk about Texas. And I hate to think this way, but I just can't see Dean Thompson without going back to that scary crash that he had at Texas. Was so glad that he was okay, and then came back the next week, like 6 days later, and was racing on the dirt at Bristol.
Yeah, and he's shown some performance too. I think this Tricon team is really helping him in his development. A lot of speed. He's going to go second, it looks like, just in front of his teammate.
David Gilliland has done a really good job of integrating himself and his organization into the Craftsman Truck Series.
They got 5 trucks in this race, Adam, and he's built that team. David knows a little bit about winning in NASCAR, and he's building a winning organization.
Next up, the 32 of Brett Holmes. By the way, going back to that one truck, Tony Breidinger making her debut here tonight, as we talked about. Next 2 weekends, Bubba Wallace behind the wheel. Darlington, North Wilkesboro. That's great.
Yeah, and then we get Willie B back too,
Going to be driving for Kyle Busch next Friday night.
Oh, big wiggle.
Hang on
Watch that tracker now. He didn't really come out of the gas a whole lot, it doesn't look like. It just got sideways, and he hung on to it. It's going to hurt his time, but still a nice little save there. Minimize the damage.
Holmes is 6th, the 14. And now the 16 of Tyler Ankrum. This is another team that's had some highs and lows. Need to start putting some pieces together here tonight.
Yeah, I went and visited him on his farm. He raises cattle. That's his daily job. He uses that as his gym at times. Let's ghost him and see how he's able to match up with our fastest truck, Daniel Dye. You see Daniel just a truck length or so ahead, but gaining on it. See what happens down in 3 and 4. I think this is a little bit more tricky of a turn today with that wind. We saw that with Brett Holmes getting loose down there. Ooh, good 3 and 4 for Tyler.
This Hattori team won here a few years ago with Austin Hill behind the wheel. Ankrum is 3rd right now, Josh.
And we've talked so much about all the younger drivers getting advice from you, Ross Chastain. So what's it like being out here and being able to impart your wisdom to these younger guys?
Well, hang on, Josh. What we just talked about off camera, I won't bring up, but let's not talk about wisdom, okay? You got no room to talk. But no, it's wild. I'm still going around asking guys for what they're thinking too, and I guess the difference is they're coming to me just for raw advice. So for our Wex Racing Chevy here with Nice Motorsports, it's another shot to go compete, go get warmed up for the weekend. I wouldn't want to be doing this with anybody but Al and everybody at Nice Motorsports. So I just love racing. So Carson will roll out here in a minute, and I was taller than him one time. I can say that now.
All right, well, guys, the secret is out. I have gray hair. That's what he was referring to. So back to you.
It's out there now.
Adam.
Yeah, I can't say anything about gray, Josh, because mine is, in fact, gone.
Yeah, and you made fun of mine this morning, though. It didn't stop
I did not. Hey, let's change the subject.
Yeah, Raja.
Well, I was going to go first to Carson Hocevar, who is 2nd behind Daniel Dye. And here comes Dye's teammate, the other rookie at GMS, Raja Karuth.
He had a fast truck also in practice, Adam, but it got away from him. Now he's rolling into turn 3. This is where he lost his truck. Look at that speed. Oh, it looks a little bit loose. Yes, it is. It could, yeah, see the tracker just immediately as soon as we saw that thing wiggle. But he did like we saw Holmes do earlier, minimize the damage, was able to keep his foot in, and then just less than a tenth of a second off his teammate.
Hocevar has been out, now Carruth, so we're starting to put the pieces together on where Daniel Dye is going to fit in, and I think he'll stay right up near the top for a good little bit. Talked to Stuart Friesen, a lot of changes over there with the 52 team. He's the 18th truck out in qualifying this afternoon.
Takes the green in really good shape compared to Daniel. You talked about where we think Daniel Dye will wind up. Adam, I'm thinking it's going to be a career best start for him.
I feel real confident about it.
There you see Stewart's hanging. That just shows you how solid Daniel's lap was all the way around the racetrack. No bobbles, no problems.
Friesen is third. Halfway home in the qualifying session here at Kansas. It continues to be Daniel Dye showing the way. These the drivers we'll see when we come back. If you're a NASCAR fan, you're in the right place. Live on FS1 from Kansas City, Kansas with Michael Waltrip. I'm Adam Alexander, right now qualifying for the Craftsman Truck Series. They race later tonight, 8th race of the campaign. Race day at 6, the race at 7. Kevin Harvick going to join us in the booth to call the action. In between, we've got Cup practice and qualifying, a setup to tomorrow's race. And we've got the ARCA cars on track today as well. It is a smorgasbord on FS1.
What a great Saturday on FS1. These races here are so entertaining. Getting to see a little bit of a preview of our summer months for these truckers. We're going to go racing 5 straight weeks. See who comes out of this little stretch locked into the playoffs and who's got work to do, and that's almost a spin. Josh, made me nervous.
Down here at Jake Garcia, and so many of these tracks you go to, you're going to for the first time, but you're picking up on stuff so quick. So what did you learn during practice?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing I was focused on during practice as a driver was just learning how to run the top of the racetrack. It's something I haven't done a whole lot of, and so being able to run that high line and stay off the wall is something that I've been working on, and I think it went pretty well, and just getting that figured out, and that'll be something that I'll have to focus on as the race goes on. But we have a really fast adaptive one, Chevrolet Silverado, so I'm excited to see what it does in qualifying.
And guys, remember, Jake told me he's just got a couple weeks left of high school. Yes, he's finishing his senior year of high school in a couple weeks.
He has done so well, too. And look at, speaking of doing well, Haley right up there racing for this pole.
I just want to revisit a couple of things. You just had a big birthday.
I did.
I've got a big birthday coming. Josh has got gray hair. And our guy Jake Garcia is getting ready to graduate high school. Something seems out of place here.
That's a lot of generations there.
Yes.
A lot of water under the bridge.
Haley Deegan, 4th. Great run by her in qualifying. And while they were visiting downstairs, Chris Wright put his truck on the board in 9th. Here's Matt Crafton, 3-time winner at Kansas, 3-time champion in the Truck Series.
And you said it earlier, Adam. Every time they crank the engines here for a truck race in Kansas, Matt Crafton's been behind the wheel and raced in all of them.
And his last victory came here in 2020. That was 65 races ago, but I know you'll say that's no winless streak.
I don't like to go down that road. I just feel like he's in a bit of a slump, but he's working his way out of it. I've seen speed from him everywhere we go. I think Matt Crafton does go to victory lane this year.
He's 6th. So 2 trucks have been out from Thorsport. You had the Chevy from Nice, Stuart Friesen, a great veteran, and at the top 2 rookies from GMS. Really, really impressive when you look at the 43 and the 24. And here comes another youngster, the 9 of Colby Howard.
I've always been a fan of Colby's ever since he showed up running some part-time stuff. He's just a guy that gets it done. You look at that truck and it's running a little bit better than what you saw it last week, and you can see he's putting in a solid effort here. That 4th place finish at Daytona was thrilling. He was a big part of the finish there. See if he can have a good one here in Kansas. I can promise you this. As you can see, he has a really nice turn 4 there, moving up the scoring pylon a bit. I can promise you this, Adam. At some point tonight, he will be sideways, and hopefully he keeps it going straight. He just drives really hard, but he's really fast.
A 10th off Daniel Dye puts Howard 4th right now as we go to the 2 of Nick Sanchez. 2-time winner here in ARCA competition.
I mean, we've talked about it a bunch, but that Texas performance is just unbelievable that the young man was able to step up and just dominate a truck race like he did.
I would say that, coupled with his success here in ARCA, has got to give him a lot of confidence, and that confidence showing up right now in the form of speed. As we put in the ghost truck, he is out front and has a chance to go to the top.
Really
I believe he will.
Should be a good lap here.
Yes, sir. It is a good lap. He's driving away just a bit from Daniel Dye. There's the fastest truck in town.
31:15. That's top.
Pretty good numbers.
I wondered if we'd get down into the 30-second bracket. I knew we'd be right at it. Don't see anybody going a tenth and a half faster.
We got a long way to go to get down to the 30s, right?
Yeah, that's a day's work, but got the best trucks coming.
Hocevar 7th. Here comes his teammate, Ross Chastain. He mentioned how special this place was for him and Al Neese. First victory for him and the organization in the Truck Series came in 2019.
And he said he wouldn't be doing this for anyone but Al. That tells you how special and how meaningful his time with this organization was. And now he's winning Cup races.
And leading the points on the Cup side. Even though he's winless this season, won twice last year, but has put together a lot of consistency, and many would believe he'll have a real shot here tomorrow. He's 7th, right in front of teammate Carson Hocevar.
What about those drivers that have beaten Hocevar and Chastain? I mean, that's an impressive run for Deegan, Colby Howard, Stuart Friesen with the changes at his organization, and then of course the rookies.
Yeah, Dye and Krug 2nd and 3rd. And here comes their veteran teammate in Grant Enfinger. See what he can do with the 2 youngsters out of the GMS camp. Tracking pretty solid right now as the driver out of Alabama.
Certainly is. Really fast.
Hasn't won here. He's done about everything else as Grant Enfinger. Military Appreciation Month, a nod from Chevrolet to all those that serve our country with the red, white, and blue colors on his Chevy Silverado to this 3rd now, sandwiched in between teammates Daniel Dye and Raja Caruth. Taylor Gray on track in the 17.
Seen a couple of guys diamond the front straightaway, coming to the green even, taking that route. Matt Crafton comes to mind. But most everybody's staying on the track, taking the green, and then dashing down off of it as they come toward the checkered.
You said it during practice, but Taylor Gray has done some good stuff. 18 years old, turned 18 right when we went to Austin, Texas. So he missed the first few races of the year because he wasn't eligible to run at those tracks. But since coming onto the scene, racing for Tricon, doing a nice job. 8th at Martinsville. And this qualifying lap puts him 9th on the board.
He splits up the teammates, Chastain and Hocevar, slides right in there. He's going to run the ARCA race that our colleague Phil Parsons will be calling alongside Miss Little.
Austin Cindric going to be up here as well with Jamie and Phil.
Austin Cindric is a fun guy.
He is a fun guy.
I like when he does the TV work.
I believe I'm right in saying he played the tuba in the high school band.
I think you're right too.
I'd like to have some video of that actually.
And he's also restoring an old vehicle in his garage. He and his dad doing it together.
Hey, look at this. How fast is Jake Garcia? 2 mile and a half this year, top 10 in both. One of the few drivers to pull that off. 35 has got speed today.
There it is.
Boom, to the top by a tenth of a second.
How about that?
His teammate led the way in practice. Now Garcia leading the way in qualifying. 9 trucks to go. We've got them for you when we come back. Kansas City is a great sports town, home to the world champion Chiefs. Just hosted the NFL draft, but this weekend all about NASCAR across the state lines in Kansas. Tonight, Craftsman Truck Series taking center stage. We'll be halfway home in the regular season when the checkers go in the air this evening. Only 9 trucks to go in qualifying. First to those from Kyle Busch Motorsports, the 4 of Chase Purdy, who got his best career finish earlier this season on the 1.5 mile at Texas Motor Speedway.
And look at the speed for Chase Purdy. How cool would it be for him to get Kyle Busch Motorsports' 100th win here tonight with Kyle Busch in the field? This is a great lap.
in the green, but went in the wrong direction. Did he do enough to get it back? Yes, he did. By 11 thousandths of a second, Chase Purdy leads in qualifying.
That is awesome.
We said we might not get to the 30s. We got a long way to go, but we got some good trucks coming, Michael, including this guy who was electric in practice.
He certainly was. Fast for one lap, fast on 10, 15 lap averages. A lot of speed for our buddy Christian.
Eckes won earlier this season at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and he's got some money in the bank. When you look at the tracker,
we're going into the 30s.
This is blistering. His teammate Garcia is second right now. Push him to third. Christian Eckes 30.93, and he now is at the top of the board. Seven trucks remain. Matt DiBenedetto, the first of those, Josh.
And down here with Nick Sanchez, and he's watching the board. Of course, you had the pole a couple of minutes ago, and then you watched some guys put some blazing laps together. So what more did you need, and what did you see from those guys out there?
Yeah, I think at this track, the way it is now, it's kind of a downforce game. Whoever has the least, trim. And I think me and my guys kind of tuned a little bit more for the race. We're focused more on, I guess, drivability. So, you see a lot of guys up there pretty trimmed out. I was wide open, so I think that's where the time is. But I'm pretty confident in my number 2 Gainbridge Chevrolet and how it's going to race later.
Thanks, Nick.
The balance of speed for one lap versus speed over the long haul. We'll see how it bears out later on. Sanchez is fourth right now. You saw Matt DiBenedetto make his qualifying run. He is 12th as we check out Tanner Gray. Tanner's having a great year. When you look at the numbers he's been able to put up, finds himself above the cut line, entering our 8th race tonight, and I would say he's in a great spot if he can finish the deal throughout the regular season and make the playoffs, Michael.
Yeah, he just gets better and better. He's another one of those kids that showed up here, and you just know he has the raw talent behind the wheel to go out and do something special. Been close. Puts in a decent run here. Top 5, that's all you're looking for. And I thought it was fun to listen to what Nick Sanchez was saying about the balance between trim and downforce. And you wonder, it's a little sunny right now. The track's heated up somewhat. If you've got that thing trimmed out, maybe it's definitely going to be a little bit more speed if you can hang on to it. And you heard Sanchez say, I just ran wide open, which means I'm confident that's what I'm going to do a lot tonight. And that's what's so fun to watch. When the sun goes down and the track cools off, who's going to be able to hold it wide open the longest?
8 Chevys in the top 10, 2 Toyotas. Fastest Ford right now, Haley Deegan in 11th. But a Ford's going to be now in the top 5. This is Ben Rhodes tracking 4th, and that's where he stays. 31.15 for the champion out of Louisville, Kentucky. And here's his teammate Ty Majeski in the 98.
Good practice for Majeski earlier. Took advantage of his 20 minutes behind the wheel to show us he had a really good balanced truck for the longer haul.
Congratulations are in order. Ty Majeski got married in the off weeks. He and his fiancee Allie tied the knot. So congratulations to them.
Certainly would be a nice memory to come to the first race after your marriage and go to victory lane. He's going to be one of the guys that has a serious shot to do that tonight.
Pretty good lap here. Nothing for Eckes, but he will jump inside the top 10. 7th for Majeski. Second of those drivers from Thor Sport. Here's Kyle Busch looking to get Kyle Busch Motorsports, the 100th win in the history of the organization. It would be his 64th trip to victory lane in competition at the Craftsman Truck Series.
He was only 9th fastest in our brief practice session. I talked about brief practice session. He set out about the first half of the 20 minutes and went out and made a 13-lap run. Was only 9th quick, and that could be why he wasn't the fastest or one of the fastest, because he went out later. But he also put in some really solid laps at the end of his long haul, matching the times of our fastest truck, Christian Eckes. He's right almost there, matching it again.
Right there with his teammate. Purdy was second. He goes to third. Kyle Busch gets him by 9 thousandths of a second. Only 2 to go. Corey Heim, Zane Smith. Heim has been a qualifying machine here. Really good when it comes to Kansas and qualifying in the trucks. Also really good here in ARCA. Pair of wins for the driver out of Georgia. Our most recent victor got it done on the short track in Martinsville, Virginia.
Losing a little bit of ground through 1 and 2. You can just feel that as a driver, you know, when you're wide open and you're not running as fast as the competition, you're like, what do you want me to do now? Well, that could all pay off tonight if indeed the reason why he's not so quick is because of extra downforce. Might come in handy tonight.
He was 15th, 16th on the tracker going down the back straightaway. Gets it back to 11th, second fastest of the Tricon Toyotas. There's the man leading, Christian Eckes, and only one more to Dodge. The driver that won in the spring here last year at Kansas, our reigning champ. Zane Smith, the last truck in qualifying.
Only one man to Dodge, but this is the man here last year. Wow, what a performance. And again, just a bit off of the pace of Christian Eckes. And I'm going to say this one more time. Eckes was not only fast for one lap, he was fast the whole haul. His whole practice session, he had good speed. So this is going to be a fun race to watch tonight.
The 19 team came to play. They win practice. They win qualifying. Christian Eckes on the pole at Kansas. 4th time he's been on the pole in his career in the Craftsman Truck Series. Josh?
Yeah, and Christian Eckes is your pole winner. Only 13 laps during practice. You knew you had the speed. You went out there and backed it up in qualifying. So how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling pretty damn good, man. Like I can't stress enough. Every time I come out and race with these guys, I have a blast, and it's really fun to race these fast trucks. And it's probably been 4 years since I sat on a pole, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm more looking forward to the race. Honestly, I didn't know where we'd qualify, but I think we got a lot of speed in this number 19 Instacoat premium product Chevrolet, and yeah, ready to go.
How will things change for you tonight? Obviously, the conditions will change out there on the track. How do you adjust to make sure you still have the speed and can compete now for a win?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to lack grip until the sun goes down. So we'll adjust accordingly. But overall, like I said, I'm just really excited to race this thing.
Thanks, Christian. Congrats.
You could tell the confidence, couldn't you? He feels great about this team and where he's at. Bill McAnally putting together a special group of people there, and Christian's honored to be their wheelman.
First pole of the season, mentioned 4th of his career. He's won twice in his career. Earlier this year at Atlanta, also has a win at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He was fast here a season ago in the race when he was driving for ThorSport, and he's on the front row with Kyle Busch, who in 4 starts this season has been on the front row every time, talking about Rowdy.
Well, that's what you expect, and if you're going to pick a favorite, you got to go with Kyle Busch. There's no doubt about it, but we saw a lot of trucks that have the kind of pace that Kyle has, so it's going to be fun to watch tonight.
What a day it's been so far for Christian Eckes. In a different zip code in practice, he delivers in qualifying as well. He leads him to the green later tonight in the Heartland. Shaping up to be a great day in Kansas City, Kansas. In about 35 minutes, the ARCA Menard Series takes center stage. Later on, Cup Series practice and qualifying. Qualifying done for the trucks. Eckes on the pole. Chase Purdy starting 3rd. Let's hear from him, Josh.
Yeah, Chase, as they just mentioned, you're going to be starting 3rd in the race tonight. So what did you learn out there during practice and qualifying that can help you tonight?
Yeah, just, you know, ARCA laid down some rubber on the racetrack, and they've been testing on it and stuff, so we thought it'd be probably pretty free to start off with, but actually we were a little bit tight, but you know, there in qualifying I thought we were really fast, just a tick too tight still. So I'm hoping tonight when the sun goes down and it cools off a little bit, that it'll free up a little bit. You know, we wanted to end a little bit tighter just so we could be prepared for the night, but all in all, I think we got a really fast Bama Buggies KBM Silverado, so we'll see what it can do tonight starting up front.
Of course, you guys had those 2 weeks off. Now you got this stretch of 5 straight. How important is this stretch, and specifically this race, being that it's a playoff race as well?
Yeah, this is, you know, definitely one that's in the playoffs. So when you come here, you want to bring, you know, really fast trucks, and you want to have a really good notebook when you leave here, because it's going to be important in the playoffs. I mean, you saw how fast the 38 was here last year, and, you know, guys did their homework, and, you know, they ended up getting beat. And, you know, actually this truck, the Ford truck, won it last year in the playoffs. So, no, it's crucial. All the racetracks that we go to are crucial, but especially the ones in the playoff.
And how cool would it be to beat the boss and get win 100 for KBM?
I am going to try my damnedest. I'm sure he wants to be the one that gets it, but I would maybe move him for it. You know, I don't know what he would feel about that, but I would do anything for it. Put you that way.
Thanks, Chase. Guys.
That'd put you on the map, wouldn't it, Adam?
Oh.
Get that 100th win for Kyle Busch. And over Kyle Busch, not very many people have ever accomplished that.
KBM has won here 6 times. He mentioned the 4 truck winning here. Last time we were here, courtesy John Hunter Nemechek in the playoff race last October. Here's the starting lineup. 3 rookies in the top 10. 2 of them get their career best. We're talking about Garcia and Dye.
Yeah, and there's Grant Enfinger and Corey Heim back on row 6. Those are 2 trucks that I'm going to have my eye on tonight. What I look at, Adam, as we go all the way through the starting lineup, back in 21st is Matt Crafton, and you look at all those trucks ahead of him. There's Ross, there's Matt DiBenedetto, Carson Hocevar. These guys can go to victory lane. That tells you how deep this field is.
And as we saw here last fall, strategy was a part of the game, and so you never know what you're going to see, and with that there could be some comers and goers, as Larry Mack likes to say.
Is that a McNugget that there might be some of those?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, I wouldn't classify as that. Justin Carroll, Lawless Allen, Spencer Boyd. Got on the plane with him yesterday and flew out here.
Nick Lights in row 16, making his first start of 2023 with the Tailgaters.
And when the lights go down in the city tonight, this track's going to change. What will these drivers do? How will it affect their trucks? I know one thing I can promise you'll see, Adam. 4 wide racing on the restarts.
You mentioned Jake Garcia, back down to Josh.
Yeah, back here with Jake Garcia and 4th on the board during qualifying. So how does that set you up now for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good starting spot. We showed that our car has speed, really fast. Got to thank Adaptive One and Chevy for all they do, and just looking forward to getting started. We got a little bit of a long wait here, but yeah, definitely looking forward to the race tonight, and hopefully we can keep it up front.
You've had success on these 1.5 miles so far this year. What have you been able to pick up on that can help you as well here?
Well, just a lot of it's just learning the air. It's something I haven't really dealt with a whole lot in my past racing. So just figuring that out and learning it as I progress this year, and hopefully get better and better at that and learn how to race people. And that way we can, when we have speed like we do today, we'll be better at passing and making our way towards the front.
Thanks, Jake, and good luck tonight.
I love what Jake said. Got to learn the air. And you can't see air, obviously. Well, Dale Earnhardt could, but I can't. The deal on that is it moves these trucks around so much. It just makes them really hard to handle in traffic, and then you got to be really committed to dive to the bottom in order to try to make that pass. And the more you race, the more you learn how to do just that.
He's not supposed to be good at this. 18 years old, his 18th birthday, shows up Las Vegas, top 10, betters that at Texas with a top 5 run, and a wonderful qualifying effort here at Kansas. One of the big storylines tonight, no doubt, is going to be Kyle Busch Motorsports going for win number 100. Here are some of the milestones over the years.
It's just been fun to watch. And I think it's really cool, the young drivers like Christopher Bell, like Todd Gilliland, that he gave the opportunity to go out and be a part of this potentially history-making night tonight.
You mentioned the young drivers. When I look at the list, I see future Hall of Famers like Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr. You saw Christopher Bell there. Here's what's on tap the rest of the day. We said it's going to be a good one from Kansas, and it is. ARCA Menard Series Racing comes your way top of the hour, 2 Eastern Time. We look forward to that. Jamie Little, Phil Parsons, Austin Cindric on the call. We got a little race hub in between ARCA and Cup practice and qualifying. Michael and me back in the booth tonight with Kevin Harvick. Race day at 7. The trucks do battle at 8. Man, is this a good day to be a NASCAR fan or what?
It's a great day, and we're going to send Kevin Harvick out and practice and qualify, find out what this track's really like, and then bring him to the booth for everybody at home watching on FS1 to hear Harvick's knowledge here at Kansas.
I hope he showers up before he comes to the booth. From one suit to another, the driver's suit to the sport coat, and he'll be up here with us later tonight. We're looking forward to that. They're all lined up and ready to go with the ARCA teams. It's time for NASCAR Race Hub. Let's go to Caitlin Vincey.
Thank you so much, Adam, and welcome.